you're never going to turn back time completely, right? But if you think about walking as a challenge to the brain and the body, when you stand up, so we're seated at the moment. We're all seated in the room apart from the camera, yeah, and you see it standing at the back. That's actually quite a challenge to the body and to the brain, because maintaining stability is inherently a hard thing, whereas flopping in a chair is an easy thing. So getting up and then moving, going somewhere with purpose, again, is a challenge to the body, challenge to the brain. It's a challenge to your sense of stability. It's a challenge to your sense of movement. And that kind of regular challenge is a really, really important thing. And a slogan that I hope you'll remember after this talk, if you don't remember anything else, is what's good for your heart is good for your brain. Getting the circulation from the heart to the brain actively engaged in a regular basis is a really good thing. Okay, let me cut to the chase here. If you take a group of sedentary 68 to 72-year-olds and you divide them into two groups, one group are asked to go out with another person for a walk 3 times a week of about 2 to 3 miles, and the other group are just left to do their own thing. You measure all sorts of things in their bloods, you measure the volume of particular brain areas, and you measure things to do with memory and attention and all of those kinds of things. And then you just track them for a year. Which group was going to have the better outcome?
Walkers.
We know this. What you will typically find, depending on the study that you look at, is that if somebody is performing at the level of a 72-year-old and they're age 70, after this intervention of regular activity, you'll drag that performance back to around about 70, or maybe even a little bit younger. The point being that getting out there regularly is really vital for both your body and for your brain. But you can go further than that. You can ask, what happens to areas of the brain that are concerned with learning and memory? So one key area of the brain that's concerned with learning and memory is a brain area that goes by a very inelegant name, the hippocampal formation. So it's an area that runs from about the tip of the ear to the temple. We know if you damage this area, you will suffer a grave amnesia. You will not recover from it. And we know also that this is the first area of the brain to be damaged by Alzheimer's disease. But we also know that it's really plastic. So if you engage in regular exercise, it increases in volume ever so slightly compared to people who are not engaged in regular exercise. And in fact, a colleague of mine in a famous study about 20 years ago took London taxi drivers. Any of you know this study? So any of you here been to London? I'm sure some of you have. Yeah. So London is amazingly complicated. It's, I think, 20,000 streets. And to qualify as a taxi driver, you have to learn the names of all of those streets, and you have to learn the routes between them all. It takes about 3 years on average to qualify as a taxi driver there. And what Eleanor Maguire showed was that in taxi drivers, but not in bus drivers, so a bus driver takes a fixed route, that's it, same route every day, whereas a taxi driver doesn't. The challenge is a different route all the time. That the taxi drivers have a larger hippocampus compared to the bus drivers. When you do a like-for-like comparison of the amount of time and mileage they've spent on the road, a really, really remarkable result.
Wow.
Just all of that navigational experience really has a profound effect on this part of the brain.